Puyallup High School was plenty convincing on the opening day of the Class 4A West Central, Southwest District Tournament Friday. The Vikings, 21-1, blew by their first two opponents at Kent Service Club Ballfields to set up a semifinals game against Auburn Mountainview at 2 p.m. Saturday. A win against the Lions, 18-3, would send Puyallup, the defending bidistrict champion and last year's 4A state runner-up, back to the title game. Puyallup opened the tournament by shutting out Battleground, 11-0, in 5 innings. The Vikings combined for 6 home runs, eventually forcing the mercy rule. Pitcher Olivia Ellingson struck out 10 batters while allowing just 2 hits. The Vikings followed up with a 17-1 win over Kentwood in the quarterfinals later in the afternoon. The game lasted 3 innings. Ellingson hit a leadoff triple in the bottom of the first, eventually scoring on a Sophia Bjork single. Sydney Booth drove in 2 more runs on a single, and Brittany Carey hit a 3-run bomb to give the Vikings a 6-0 advantage in the first. Puyallup led, 14-1, after 2 innings. Megan Diddy's 2-run blast in the third ended the game. The Vikings haven't lost since March 17, when they dropped their only game of the season, 6-3, in a non-league contest against Yelm. Auburn Mountainview 13, Auburn Riverside 2. The Lions tagged Auburn Riverside with 7 runs in the first inning, and added 4 more in the third, eventually ending the quarterfinals game in 5 by mercy rule. Adriana Lomelli-Smith led Auburn Mountainview with 5 RBIs on 2 hits, and scored 2 runs. 3 more Lions recorded hits in each at-bat. Lily Hope was 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored, Alicia Bell was 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs and a run scored, and Emma Podliska was 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Caitlin Rhodes tossed a complete game for the Lions, allowing the 2 runs while striking out 6. Auburn Mountainview meets Puyallup at 2 p.m. Saturday in the semifinals. Auburn Riverside, 15-7, plays Curtis, 16-5, in a loser-out game at 11 a.m. Saturday. Rogers 4,2. It took 1 run apiece in the 5th, 6th and 7th innings for the Rams to complete a comeback and edge the Papermakers in the quarterfinals. Reagan Barrett homered to center to give the Rams a 1-0 lead in the top of the third, but C. Bressner answered with a 2-run blast in the bottom half of the inning. Ariel Clark hit a solo home run in the 5th to tie it, Rachel Wicker hit a solo shot to right in the 6th and Riley Stockton hit an RBI single in the 7th to keep the Papermakers out of reach. Gracie Dawes pitched a complete game for the Rams, allowing 2 runs off of 4 hits while striking out 3. The Rams, 18-3, played Tahoma, 19-4, at noon Saturday in the semifinals. Tahoma 7, Enumclaw 1. The Hornets carried a 1-0 lead into the final frame in the quarterfinals, but Tahoma broke through for 7 runs in the 7th to advance. 2 runs scored on an error before Marina Ramirez hit an RBI double to center. The Bears loaded the bases for Danica Dennis, who silenced the Hornets with a grand slam to center. Dennis pitched a complete game for the Bears, allowing 4 hits while striking out 9. Jenna Ritzdorf's home run in the 3rd was Enumclaw's only run. Tahoma plays Rogers at noon Saturday in the semifinals. Enumclaw, 11-10, plays a loser-out game against Bellarmine Prep, 11-11, at 11 a.m. Saturday. Bellarmine Prep 4, Auburn 1. The Lions built an early lead and never lost in a loser-out game. Bellarmine scored 2 runs apiece in the 1st and 3rd innings. Madeline Garcia knocked in 2 runs on an RBI double, while Haley McMasters had an RBI single. Chelsea Smith tossed 6 innings for the Lions, allowing just 2 hits while striking out 6. Abigail Newman's RBI single in the 7th produced Auburn's only run. The Lions play Enumclaw at 11 a.m. Saturday. Auburn, 14-7, is out. Federal Way 8, South Kitsap 7, Melissa Mateus was 3 for 4 with a home run and 2 RBIs as the Eagles held on in a loser-out game. Federal Way scored 7 runs between the 4th and 6th innings to enter the final frame with a 3-run cushion. Melissa Mateus and Becca Rennick hit back-to-back RBI doubles in the bottom of the 6th to push the Eagles' lead to 8-5. South Kitsap got 2 runs back in the top of the 7th, but Rennick worked out of the jam. She pitched a complete game and picked up the win. Federal Way, 13-7, plays Kentwood, 14-5, at 11 a.m. Saturday and a loser-out game. South Kitsap season ends at 12-10, Curtis 15, Todd Beamer 6. The Vikings broke a 5-5 tie with a 5-run 4th inning and never lost the lead in a quarterfinals win. Gabby Glouise and Emily Bryant both hit home runs for Curtis, and drove in 4 runs apiece. Bryant pitched 6 2/3 innings to earn the win, striking out 7 batters. Lena Wiley led the Titans, finishing 4 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Curtis plays Auburn Riverside in a loser-out game at 11 a.m. Saturday. Beamer, 8-14, is out. 2A West Central District Tournament. White River 9, River Ridge 4. The Hornets are 2 games away from a state tournament berth after topping the Hawks in a loser-out game at the Regional Athletic Complex in Lacey. White River posted a 6-run 4th inning to take a lead they never lost. Noel Mills and Marissa Bartles were each 2 for 4 with an RBI for White River. Alexis James led River Ridge, finishing 2 of 3 with 2 RBIs. The Hornets, 16-7, face Squim, 10-13, in a loser-out game at 11 a.m. Saturday. River Ridge, 10-11, is out. Stillicum 7, Ording 0, Caitlin Flugga pitched a complete game shutout to lift the Sentinels in a loser-out game. Kiki Sanders was 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs for Stillicum, while Whitley Prater was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Elena McCullough was 3 for 3 for the Cardinals. Stillicum, 14-7, plays Lindbergh, 14-6, in a loser-out game at 11 a.m. Saturday. Ording season ends at 12-100. 2A Southwest District TOURNAMENTWF. West 4, Ridgefield 3. It took 2 extra innings wins Friday at Bourse Park in Centralia, but the Bearcats won another Southwest District title. The championship win over the Spudders took 8 innings to complete. Ridgefield rallied from a 3-run deficit in the top of the 7th to tie the game, and held the Bearcats in the bottom half. But Ashlyn Whalen broke through for WF West in the 8th, ending the game on a walk-off RBI double to give the Bearcats their 6th consecutive district title. Whalen led the Bearcats, finishing 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Peyton Lopez was 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored, and Ava Fugate was 2 for 3 with an RBI and run scored. Ace pitcher Ashley Vidala struck out 7 in a complete game win. The Bearcats, 20-3, needed 10 innings to beat Woodland, 10-5, in the semifinals earlier in the day. WF West heads to Salon next week in pursuit of back-to-back 2A state titles.